Bismillah. Okay, it has already been some years since you have predicted the decline of the world's financial system that is based on fiat money. Could you please elaborate for our audience this issue and provide also with your vision on how a Muslim nation can get out of this fraudulent system?
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am delighted. It's music in my ears to hear you describe it as a fraudulent system. Mm-hmm. Because the ulama of Islam, unfortunately, have not as yet come to that conclusion. Our ulama are in a fix because the books of fiqh which they study does not deal with the modern monetary system. They have no training, no knowledge of international monetary economics. As a consequence, they lack both the knowledge and the tools of analysis with which to be able to come to the conclusion that you have just arrived at, that the modern monetary system, which emerged out of the Bretton Woods Accord of 1944, and which collapsed in August of 1971, and which was then replaced by the new and the existing petrodollar monetary system, is bogus, it's fraudulent, it's haram, and it functions as a vehicle for the economic exploitation and financial enslavement of the masses around the world. Unless and until the ulama of Islam study international monetary economics and acquire the courage to speak out and to proclaim that which is truth and to expose that which is falsehood, it is impossible for us to escape out of this financial web which has been spun around us. One last word. If our ulama were to rise up, it would be possible for us to argue that the Sharia of Islam cannot be enforced unless and until we restore dinar and dirham as money. And you cannot restore dinar and dirham as money while yet remaining a member state of the International Monetary Fund. The Articles of Agreement of the International Monetary Fund prohibit, mysteriously so, prohibit the use of gold as money. If you want to know why, you go to ask a gentleman named Dajjal. He will tell you why. Secondly, if the ulama of Islam were to rise up, acquire the knowledge of this subject, it is possible for us, because there are so many in the world of Islam who, even when they are secularized, even when they acquire part of the modern way of life, still have love in their heart for Islam. True. Still have love in their heart for moral values, for what is right and what is wrong. for what is just and what is unjust. They have it in their hearts. And so it would be possible for us to argue that if someone were to offer to pay an amount which is due in a business transaction, to pay an amount which is due in dinar and dirham. I owe you so much money because I bought goods from you, and I offer to pay you in dirhams. If you were to refuse to accept the dirhams and were to demand instead US dollars or Pakistani rupees or Indonesian rupiah, then you would have committed a sin, and you would have to answer for that sin on Judgment Day. Here is a strategy which our ulama can use effectively to not only get people to start buying dinar and dirhams. We don't need dinar as much as we need dirham. And when you start buying dinar and dirham and then using it for buying and selling, our trade union movements will then get some knowledge in their head. And the trade union movements will then say, well, we want to be paid our wages in real money, not in crooked money. You see, the trade union movement, like the ulama of Islam, do not have the knowledge of international monetary economics. And so they go into negotiations to demand wage increase.
Exactly.
And when they win a wage increase, inflation wipes it out.
Exactly.
They will wake up the reality and demand that wages be paid in dinar and dirham. When the IMF prohibited the use of gold as money, the Articles of Agreement also required every member state to deposit with the IMF, which is the Federal Reserve, 25% of all your gold holdings. This was international law. And when you deposited that 25%, then the Zionists knew how much gold you had.
Yeah.
Then the IMF rules prohibited you from buying or selling gold without disclosing it to the IMF. Where were the ulama of Islam? Drinking coffee? What will you do with your gold that you have when you cannot use it as money? It's just lying there. The IMF then said, you can get IMF loans from us using your gold as collateral.
Yeah.
And you'll get the IMF loans at concessionary rates. Number one, where did IMF get money from? The United States is the biggest contributor to the IMF. And as a result, the United States has a controlling interest in the IMF. The US dollar is a petrodollar. It has no link with gold.
Nope.
All that you need is a printing press and paper and ink.
Ink.
That's all. Printing press paper and ink. France cannot do it. Germany cannot do it. Britain cannot do it. Only Uncle Sam. Only Uncle Sam. So they make money out of thin air. They create wealth out of thin air. And then they want to lend that to you on interest. And you can borrow from them using your gold as collateral. So the trap was set.
Yeah.
That countries will send more and more of their gold. So the 25% will become 40 and 50 and 70%. So they can use that gold as collateral, thinking that the gold is safe. And when you want it back, you can get it back. You just have to pay the loan. Today, Germany is under pressure to bring back its gold to Germany. The Federal Reserve and the IMF refuses to send it back. It's called repatriation. The German government then demanded an audit of its gold, just to confirm that it's
that
there.
It's still there. Okay.
The IMF refused. Refused.